This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin Hoffman.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Hoffman. Today's Monday, September the 25th, 2023. Hard to believe we're in the final week of September already, but here we are. I'm glad you could come along and join us. Later on in the program, I'm going to talk with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst about progress or lack thereof on the farm bill, spending bill, and a lot more other things. But first, we'll take a look at the market numbers right now. It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net. Well, we're at the end of another trading day. It's time to talk with Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net. Robin, what are we seeing in the markets coming out of this Monday here, especially starting in the grains?
Well, in the grains, we did see a little bit of pressure to begin the day, which was overnight, other than wheat. Wheat was, I think, kind of seeing some support in there because Russia hit some of the port in Odessa again and did some significant damage to some of the grain facilities there and part of the infrastructure. So that provided some support there. But as far as the corn and beans were concerned, early on, they were under pressure, beans under more pressure than corn. And that was, really harvest is expected to progress quite a bit this week. And so they saw some of that. But by the end of the day, we saw beans come back. We saw corn move higher. And so they got a little bit more leg under them based on I think just trade for the most part. Now, export inspections this morning, corn was a little bit lower at 26 million bushels, down 600,000 bushels from the previous week. Soybeans at 17.7 million bushels, up 1.9 million bushels. And wheat at 16.6 million bushels, up 1 million bushels. Now, private exporters did report a trade, one sale, I shouldn't say a trade, a sale of corn to Mexico of 1,661,160 metric ton. That's a huge sale to Mexico. And there was 1,049,771 metric tons for this year. And then the rest was for the 2024-25 marketing year. So it's kind of ironic because Mexico last week said that they were going to replace or try to replace in a couple of years about 2/3 of their corn imports from the U.S. Their plant breeders and scientists are working on, how that they can increase their own production. But so it's kind of ironic that happened. Crop progress this afternoon, corn conditions should be 51% good to excellent, same as last week. Harvesting at 18%. Last week was 9%, so a double in that. Soybean condition at 52%, same as last week. Harvested at 14%, which 5% last week. And winter wheat planted, they're expecting at 27%, up from 15% last week. Now, Argentina is a focus for the wheat market pretty much, as the weather has been dry. Farmers have been slow to book sales. So that's a focus that's coming in on the wheat situation to see how that all comes out as they begin harvest here soon, see what kind of yields they get. And then our export market is a little under pressure or continues to be under pressure to some degree because our prices are higher because of the low water levels in the Mississippi. So it increases shipping costs. So some of our prices for the export market are higher, which is kind of a issue that can really impact our exports based on the availability of soybeans and corn out of South America. So that's creating somewhat of an issue that could become worse as we move along here a little bit. So that may be something that kicked in the issues with maybe shipping down the Mississippi, but yet increasing or reducing exports, that may be an overall bearish scenario on this market as we move forward.
All right, moving over to the livestock side of things, how did those cattle and hogs fare today?
Well, the cattle had the proverbial knee-jerk reaction at the beginning based on the cattle on feed report. Mostly neutral, little bit negative because it came a little bit higher than the trade expectations, but nothing really to be concerned about. So they had a knee-jerk reaction. So they opened and traded lower for a period of time. Did come back. Live cattle were kind of two-sided today, fairly neutral. Little more pressure on the feeder cattle, but not much. Was kind of a ho-hum day to some degree. A little bit more support came into the hog market, but in the cattle, we had steady cash last week. And so the live cattle at least remained somewhat supportive overall. Box beef at noon today was down $1.93 for choice, up $1.19 for select cuts. Of the cattle that were traded last week at steady prices, both north and south, 23% of those are committed for deferred delivery. So that puts the packers in a little better condition than they have been the last few weeks, which may translate into maybe, again, another week of steady cash trade. But the pattern has been that trade just really does not develop until Friday. So we can maybe expect something like that again this week. Now, hogs began higher, had some swinging both up and down during the day. They didn't really trade much off of the Friday's lower cash and lower cutouts, but it just seems to be like the market maybe just after the 2 days of substantial selling, it got down near support and buyers wanted to come back in again. On the Commitment of Traders report that was released on Friday, they showed funds actually increasing their net long positions in hogs by 2,375 futures contracts to a net long of 40,693 contracts. So they've been steadily increasing their net long positions, and they're going to try to defend those positions as long as there's nothing dramatic that happens to change that. Now, the National Direct midday report for cash was just down 1 cent. So we could see a little stronger cash to close out the day, which that happened last week. Prior to that, it was unusual to see some strength in the Monday cash market report. Cutouts this morning were supportive, up $2.96. So maybe we're going to see another rebound after the big sell-off we had for 2 days, and we might go back up and test the top end of that trading range.
All right. Well, Robin, if folks want to talk to all of you at agmarket.net, get some idea of things they should be thinking about both now and even thinking about the 24 marketing year, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Well, if they want to call me directly, they can reach me at 877-256-3253, or they can go to our website, agmarket.net. The phone number's on there, and they can call in, and the person who's available will be glad to help them.
All right, Robin, well, we thank you so much for the insight, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right, thank you. It's always a pleasure.
That again was Robin Schmahl of agmarket.net. Let's go ahead and take a look at those closing numbers. Those come to us courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. December corn is up 4 at the close at 481 1/4. March up 3.5 at 495 3/4. November beans up 1.5 at 1297 3/4. January up 2 at 1315 1/2. October soy meal up $3.80 at $3.92. December up $4 at $3.89.80. Soy oil for October $2.10 lower at $58.75. December down $2.14 at $57.48. Chicago wheat is up 9 at $6.15 1/2. Minneapolis down 1.5 at $7.69 even. Kansas wheat is up 3 1/4 at $7.14 1/2. Oats are up 8.5 at $4.49 3/4. October live cattle down a dime at 186.97. October feeders down 32 cents at 258.82. Lean hogs even at 81.52. Pork cutouts up 32 cents at 92.52. September class 3 milk is up a penny at 18.42. And that's been a check of our ag market recap. We're going to take a short break here from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. And when we come back, I talk with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to AMPM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Well, we know the Farm Bill expires on Saturday, along with the fiscal year of the government. And right now, it looks like we're nowhere near getting either one of those things accomplished before the deadline. I talked with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst about where we're at with those bills, how one's going to affect the other. We also talked about the need for more farm educators and ag educators in the state of Iowa. We talked about a few other options as well. Right now, here's Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. So we're only about 9 days away from when the Farm Bill expires, so I know that's top of mind for farmers. I know we talked at the state fair. You just weren't quite certain it was going to get done in time, and 9 days away is still not looking very good. I mean, where are we at right now?
Yeah, this has been very frustrating, Dustin, and I think it's being felt across the parties. It's being felt across the rotunda here in the Capitol building, and we're uncertain right now the path forward. Of course, with the farm programs, what we'll hope to do then is have extenders that will carry us on until we can actually get the Farm Bill done. I would hope that we could get the Farm Bill done the early part of this next year. But if it turns to a point where it doesn't look like that's going to happen, it could be that we end up in a 1-year extension for the Farm Bill. We certainly don't want that. We've got a lot of really great programs and improvements that we would like to see in this year's Farm Bill, but it really is an uncertain future right now.
So I know there's a lot of other things going on. I mean, obviously a spending bill is top of mind as well. Is that kind of what's holding things back right now on advancing Farm Bill legislation?
Well, it is, because we are spending a lot of our time on the floor focused on appropriations activities. That has pretty well stalled here in the Senate, at least for the time being, while a number of the members are working out various issues that they have with the appropriations bills. Of course, we have to wait for the House to act as well when it comes to appropriations bills, and they need to start sending more of those bills over. So we are looking at a potential continuing resolution when it comes to federal government spending. And if we cannot get a continuing resolution, then we are being faced with a government shutdown, which we know is not good for anyone. Yes, there are issues coming up with the spending bills. And of course, then that does slow down the other work that we do, whether it's on the Farm Bill, whether it's on FAA reauthorization, a number of other important pieces of legislation.
Now, we also have National Farm Safety Week going on right now, and today is also Teach Agriculture Day as well. Tell us a little bit about what you have done to help shed some light on that.
Yes, right now we know in Iowa, I think we only have maybe 374 or so ag teachers across the state. And this has significantly decreased over the past number of years. And so encouraging those to get out and consider being an ag educator, very, very important. We know we're such an ag heavy state. Many other states are as well. We need to recognize these teachers and certainly draw from those younger people that would like to go into education and perhaps go into the agricultural industry as well. So we'll keep focusing on that and raising awareness to the fact we need more of these teachers. Again, we've got 370 some ag teachers, and they help support over 33,000 ag students every year.
So how do we go about maybe making it more attractive for people to look at that as a path forward in their career?
Well, certainly awareness is the first step in that, and then other incentives as well that could be done through various programs. But it really does have to be a state and local partnership as well, on top of the education piece coming from the federal government.
Another thing on the list that we have to talk about is something we haven't talked about yet, and that is Mamba. You want to tell us what Mamba is and why it's important that we deal with it?
Yes, well, we are looking at ways to benefit our farmers, and this is a bonding initiative, a modernization. And so we're able to really literally capitalize on investment by doing this. So the Mamba Act, we are trying to move that forward. Again, just a different way of using bonds in order to further our agricultural endeavors. It's something that we haven't seen before, need to modernize these different types of bond programs. And we think we can benefit even first-time farmers or others and help them with the extensive costs that go into farming.
So if I understand correctly, these haven't been updated in almost 3 decades?
Yeah, very long time. And you know that farming is very, very different today. The costs are very, very different today. So it's about time we take a look at that and make sure that these types of bonding programs are really benefiting today's farmer.
Is there any specifics in that program that you want to touch on to make sure that we're making sure are getting updated? Maybe hurdles that are becoming more prohibitive to farmers getting started?
Yeah, and I do have some specifics here that I can share with you. And I think it's really important to understand, just as you pointed out, that these haven't been updated for decades. And right now we have historically high land prices. And I hear that from my farmers all across the state. And of course, with inflation and the increasing interest rates. But what we're trying to do is modernize and clarify the rules for these types of bonds and make sure that those first-time farmers and entrepreneurs can access the capital they need to start jobs, to create jobs, and to gain access to land and other equipment needed for today's operations. And again, things have changed so significantly over the years that we felt the need to really update and allow for the changes that we've seen over the past number of decades.
So any other ag-related issues going forward right now? Any other bills that you're working on or helping sponsor to push through?
Well, there are a lot of opportunities, of course, that we have wrapped up in the Farm Bill. And that's why I think it's really important that we get the Farm Bill done. A lot of different initiatives. Of course, one of the things I talk about significantly is Beagle Brigade, other types of opportunities there where we're pushing back on foreign animal disease, other types of situations that might come into the country. So beagles, you see them at the airports, those port of entries. We need more of those. And one way to do that is by providing a different type of fee structure to support those beagles and their training. They do actually catch a lot of foreign animal disease, insects, other types of issues that could significantly impact our agriculture. So that's one program I'm hoping to get over the finish line. We hope to see that in the near future. But bottom line, some of the efforts with the Farm Bill is just we need more farm in the Farm Bill. And that's part of the hangup, is that a significant portion of the Farm Bill, actually, I think it's around 86% of the Farm Bill is not actually farm programs. It's food assistance and SNAP. So we have a long ways to go there. And so the focus right now is not necessarily on individual programs, but more in just a path forward to actually get the Farm Bill done.
All right. Well, Senator Ernst, we're just getting ready to start harvest here in Iowa. Anything you want to say to those farmers out there who are getting ready to get into the combines?
Yes, to our farmers, safety first, safety first. I know that as we have the combines operating out there, watch your extremities, please be careful. Watch those inclines and declines. We had a tractor accident here in Southwest Iowa not all that long ago, just devastating consequences. So please be safe. If you have youngsters that are helping on the farm, make sure they understand the do's and don'ts of agriculture. And then as well to the traveling public, here is my plea, please be patient. Our farmers are feeding and fueling the world. And so before you go hastily passing those tractors and wagons or combines, look twice, slow down, give a friendly wave, but give them plenty of wide berth.
All right. Well, Senator, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us.
Oh, you bet. Thanks so much, Dustin, and safe and happy harvest to everyone.
And that again was Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. Let's go ahead and take a look at that ag weather outlook. The sun is shining and it's a beautiful day here in Des Moines. It's been pretty mild, very fall-like, cooler nights, a little bit warmer on the daytime. Help get those crops across the finish line. Some combines already wading into those fields. See local listings for your area. But of course, that also means that we still need some rain in the soil profile, but we could wait for it to hold off just a little longer, being it's waited this long already. Let's see what the National Weather Service has in store for us, though, for these next 24 hours. Well, we're looking at a pretty fair forecast here for the next couple of days. Slight chances of showers today, mostly in the northwest and in the eastern part of the state, but sunny throughout much of the middle of the state. Highs will be in the 70s to maybe around 80. Tonight, variably cloudy skies across the state. There'll be some chances of some pop-up scattered showers, but mainly going to see lows in the low 50s to around 60. Then tomorrow, variably cloudy skies, but leaning much more towards the cloudy part of it, and foggy across much of the state to start the day. Scattered showers and storms are going to be possible, and we'll see highs around 69 up to about 77 degrees. Taking a look at the affiliate weather map for tomorrow, Cherokee, look for showers and fog to start the day, 69 for the high. Shenandoah, sunny and 77, maybe a few clouds here and there. Des Moines, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible, mostly cloudy and foggy, 74. Same in Clinton as well, mostly cloudy skies, scattered showers, fog, and 74. Waterloo, showers and 72. Albia, partly sunny, maybe a few isolated showers, and a high of 75 degrees. For more detailed forecasts in your area, tune to your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliates. And that's been the Ag Weather Outlook. And with that, we're at the end of today's show. You can find all our content online at iowaagnet.com. Follow us on Facebook, X, the page formerly known as Twitter. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and on our YouTube channel. While you're there, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified each time we put up a new video project. Also, don't forget about our free market podcasts. You can find them online under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe and have them delivered right to you at Google, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and Podbean. Also, while you're at iowaagnet.com, check under our programming page under the long format programs and check out our new offering, Iowa Ag Matters, that comes out every day, Monday through Friday. I think I covered it all. We've got a lot of stuff that we can bring to you. And for Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson, I'm Dustin Huffman. We thank you for watching today. This has been Ag Matters PM.